Good morning, friends. In the shop today, a DOA Toro 524. Picked her up on the side of the road. Had a sign on it that says, free, does not run. Picked her up without asking a single question. So now what we got to do is crawl over this thing and figure out exactly what it is we got. First and foremost, she is not seized. She actually feels like she's got pretty good compression. Looks like a brand new line on there. Oh. Weird gasket. This baby's old. I'm gonna have to figure out when it's from, but gas doesn't smell all that great, so that probably points to a carburetor issue right there. Go back on, gas cap. Just for schnitz and pickles. Oh wow, it's even got good oil in it. This thing was somewhat cared for. I mean, decent oil. When you get these DOAs, usually there's just large chunks of 20-year-old liquefied dinosaurs. Got a bit of a oil leak down there or something, it looks like, or maybe that's just from changing on her. This concerns me. This has a very strange lockout system. So if you notice, here's your gear selector. This is actually a switch. Hear it? And yeah, look. Same thing there, to make sure you can't start it in gear and you can't start it with the auger spinning. It doesn't have the handles the way something else would. Primer bulb actually feels pretty good. Perked good. I can't even tell if this is a Tecumseh, so I think what we're going to do real quick is see if we can even get spark on it, because I'm assuming this just grounds out your coil there, any of these switches, so if any of them are bad. It looks like something was over here because there's a wire going to it, but she's broken off, so that's a great sign. So let's pop the Sparky boy out of there and see if there's any lightning getting into the old cylinder there. All right, I got the spark plug out of there. It doesn't look too bad. Definitely an old plug, so if this thing ends up being a runner, we may give her a new one. But I think we are going to just give her the old wire brush routine right now. What the heck is on this wire brush? I'm going to give her the old wire brush routine right now to give it the best chance for success. That's looking better already. Look at that, like new. We could resell that on eBay. All right, I've cleaned off the top of this little rusty, dusty, crusty nut there. Give it some place to ground out to. We got our Sparky boy in there. Let's roll her over and see if she's got any life. Oh, I think I saw some lightning. This thing's fighting me. Go back in. Well, this recoil is going to need some work. Ready? You guys seen that? Hopefully you're at least hearing it. I got the steady hands of a drunk in the morning, so I'm wobbling all over the place, but I think you guys get the point. We have spark. That's a beautiful thing. Let's dig into the carburetor. All right, and I do suspect someone's been in this unit before, because this cover over the carb isn't held on by anything short of the chocolator knob there. And this carb does look... Wow, this one deserves a walk around. That is one dusty, ugly looking carb. That does look like a Tecumseh style carb, an old one. Choke's not locked up, throttle's not locked up. Well, let's get her off of there. I tell you, that is a crusty one. I actually may have a new one of these. Yeah, this I think is a Tecumseh engine. They pretty much use the same style carb with a few changes for many years. Oh boy, let's get that dust. That thing looks like it was parked next to the Edmund Fitzgerald for a few years. Is the camera picking up just how yellow the gasoline dripping out of this thing is? I mean, we've all but guaranteed what our issue is going to be. What you're looking at here is your main jet adjustment. You've got your pilot jet adjustment over here, idle adjustment, fuel intake right there. Obviously, this carburetor is... well, she's dirty. We're going to clean her off a little bit. You know it's old because I think this is Tecumseh. I'm not 100% on that. One of y'all may know. It certainly looks like a Tecumseh, except Tecumsehs usually have a dump valve right there. Oh, yep, there it goes. Tecumseh products made in the USA. So this is, in fact, a Tecumseh motor. The carb told me. And since that's the fact, then I'm guaranteeing we can get it running. Because give me a Tecumseh, give me a Briggs, we're good to go. I know I don't need to tell y'all, but we're going to count our turns where our Jets were set. Oh, that one's jammed all the way in there, or is it just not wanting to move on me? Oh yeah, she was real sticky. It's going to be something interesting when we get in this one. Let's wait till we get the bowl off to tackle those. Unfortunately, Tecumseh's used that rubber gasket there that's not going to be okay when I pull this off, and I don't think I have any in the shop. Which means if we get her running tonight, she's going to be leaking fuel everywhere. But well, that's just the price you pay. Additionally, on newer Tecumseh's, this would be a 1/2 inch, not a 7/16. So far, not terrible. You expect to see an awful lot more, gunk and sea slime in there. Oh, that old gas. Never mind. I take it back, bud. You see that? That is cherry right there. I mean, that takes a special level of neglect. I mean, that literally looks like the kind of crap a frog lives in. There's jelly. Look, there's mint jelly in the bottom of this carburetor. I tell you. Needle is completely seized in there, because of the mint jelly. A point of interest is that I actually have a Chinesium, of course, but knockoff of one of these, the newer version though. And I'm almost tempted to throw this on and see if it would run. You can see the throat hole's smaller on this one. This is for an 8 or 9 horsepower. I'll bet you that's a 7 horsepower. Almost tempted. I mean, obviously it would bolt on, Now we're gonna get this one running. We're gonna get this one running. Save this one for a true basket case. See if we can loosen up that needle so we don't have to pry on her too much. Where's my bitty pliers? Here's my bitty pliers. My itty bitty pliers. There she comes. Not teabag, nothing wrong with that one. Just a little goopy. A little poopy, no big deal. Now, if I'm being completely honest, this carburetor would be a great candidate for ultrasonic cleaner or a dip in a carb thing overnight, but I don't have any of that stuff, so this is just gonna have to do. Okay, that's a good sign. See the when you put it in here, it comes out there, kind of, just barely. That seat is severely clogged up. You can't see. I got my big dumb elbow in the way, don't I? Ideally, very little would be squirting back out at me, and it would be all coming out of that seat there. All right, so I'm just gonna work around this thing. Take our little brass brush and all right, let's see about getting that pilot jet out so that it can soak a little bit. We're going in about 1, 2, almost on the dot for the pilot jet. I think I was calling that the jet. Obviously, this is the adjustment screw, not the jet. See, our main jet adjustment screw is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 full turns. 1 turn on that, 2 revolutions, and 2 full turns on this one. Let's pull her out of there. Yeah, there's a lot of goop in there. Imagine that. Did you know that if you fill a 30-year-old Tecumseh carburetor full of pond scum and molasses, it's not going to run all that good? It was news to me. Apparently it was news to the person who owned this thing. I'm calling that good enough for government work right now. I think we got the seat freed up. I know we got pilot and main circuits blown out. Fuel delivery is deliverying. Here's a little carb trick for you. Your float is supposed to sit level in there. You see how this one's jaunting off up in that corner? You're not going to have the proper amount of fuel in your bowl. What you do is you take it back out, and using this tab right there, you can adjust the height. So you bend it down a little bit, in our situation when it was sticking up too much, and you would pry it open a little more if you needed it open more. See how that looks. There you go. See, that's a little more level now? That's where it should be. Well, believe it or not, God willing and the creek don't rise, I think this seal just may hold on at least long enough for us to get a test rip in on this thing, so as we're not spitting fuel everywhere. I've seen worse, and I've had worse work on these old Tecumsehs, so we'll give it the old college try is what I'm saying. Line up our liners here. That's got to be right there. Let's get this slam danced back on the old digital leader over there and take her outside, see if she'll bark. All right, carburetor's back on. I drained the old gas out of this tank. We're gonna put some new gas in, some fresh fire maker, and see if we can't get this old girl to bark. I'll bet you we can. We might have to mess around with those mixture screws, but she'll bark. This is some of that high quality 2020, more corn than gasoline. Now I know a lot of you ain't gonna be a big fan of this, but I'm gonna give it a little snort of the good stuff. Right down the throat hole, just to give us the best chance to succeed right off the hop. I do not have all night to be dickering with this snowblower. That's not true. Of course, you always want to use the correct tool for tightening down spark plugs. That tool being the Nebraska nut rounder here, because I can't find my socket. Slam dance this bad boy on out here. Wow, well, you just can't make this up. I walked outside, my outside light flickered on and then immediately burned out. And I don't have a spare, so we're doing this in the dark. This is a high-class production. I tell you, bud. Christmas. All right. We're going to pump her several times. It's currently choked. Read the hieroglyphics. Make sure everything is where it needs to be. Well, would you believe that? First of all, she ran. Granted, that was the ether, but at least I know she's not all hooped inside, but I broke the string on the first try. Let's see if the electric start works. Electrotronical start. Well, that wasn't too bad. I shouldn't have brought her down. Should have let her run for a minute. Choke. I tell you, man. I get 100 of these things running. I'm always amazed when it happens, though. Alrighty, friends, that's a wrap on this one. I need to fix the recoil, which it just came untied. It didn't even break. Clearly, this is not original. Someone replaced it. They didn't do it right. What else does it need to go up for sale? I'll give her a cleaning. I do understand, man. This thing is dangerous, so you just drop it into gear and then it goes. I mean, you could walk away from the machine. It's going to go all the way down the street. Of course, newer models, you have to be holding. It's kind of a dead man switch. You got to be holding the thing. Same thing with the auger. When you push it on, it's just on. So you could push the auger on, put it in third, and just let it go. Mow down whatever's in its way. It does have a mean looking auger. Is it a 2-stage? Yeah, it's a 2-stage. There's an impeller in there. So this is a classy unit. Might even want to keep this one for myself. Wasn't even searching. I mean, granted, I didn't let it get too much heat into it, but like I said, if you bring the teeny screwdriver, you won't be dickering. But if you leave it inside, you're gonna have to make the walk of shame. We're gonna quit it here. If you want another video on getting this thing tuned up, cleaned up, and ready for sale. Let me know down there in the squawk boxes. If not, we're calling this one a W. This is a win all day, boys. This thing is weird looking. It's being sold. I got to do some more research. Matter of fact, I saw a little tag back here with the model. Okay. So model and serial number. I'll track down what the date is looking like. Definitely a Tecumseh engine. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I did the bare minimum. I didn't replace jets. I didn't replace needle or seat or even the bowl gasket, which actually it's seeping a little bit, but not the end of the world. Electric start works. Boy, I tell you, we're going to clean this up. A couple $100 if you're in Northwest New Jersey and you need what I imagine is probably a strong machine. I mean, when they built them back in the day, they friggin' built them. Am I right? So let me comment down in the squawk boxes if you know anything more about this specific model. I'd love to know. Let's turn the fuel off. I think that's probably a good idea. Okay, another win in the books. Shall we?